My first impression of this watch? This looks like a Speedy and a Daytona had a wild night and didn't use any protection at all. Now jokes aside, this clickbait title about how this is an overlooked Speedy alternative didn't just come about. This Bell&Ross chronograph really impressed me. Hello and welcome back. My name is Tom. Some of you might know me as Bowl of Salmon on Instagram, and today we're gonna have a talk about the Bell&Ross BR V2-94 Black Steel. Now, I own a Speedmaster, so it's tough for me not to compare, but maybe you don't care about the Moonwatch heritage, or you're just looking for a watch that not everybody else seems to own. Okay, maybe we should do the specs first and get the awkward comparison part out of the way. On paper they are pretty identical, and they both feel comfortable on my 16.5cm wrist. But I might even give the Bell&Ross the slightest edge because it felt to be sitting even flatter on the wrist. Hasselite versus Sapphire, that is the dilemma every Speedy buyer faces. But I have to admit, I kind of felt safer knowing that the Bell&Ross had a Sapphire crystal. They also got this dome crystal down so good, and on certain angles it shows some great looking distortions along the edges. The milk ring that I don't like on the Sapphire Speedy is almost non-existent, like you have the best of both worlds. Complexy, but scratch resistant. Now I know the new Speedies are rated at 50 meters, but they don't like to get wet that much. To prevent water and dust coming in, the Bell&Ross features a screw-down crown and screw-down pushers. It is water resistant to 100 meters. There was also something very satisfying about screwing around with those pushers. The Bell&Ross uses the caliber 301, which is a module chronograph based on top of an ETA movement. My Speedmaster uses the 1861 hand-wound movement, and the latest version even uses the coaxial master chronometer caliber 3861. Moving to my favorite part of the watch, the dial. The dial has a matte black finishing that almost has an ink-like feel to it. In typical Bell&Ross form, we find the large Arabic numerals at 12 and 6, a running subdial on the right, a running minute subdial on the left when the chrono is activated. The watch features a very legible handset. The back of the chrono hand is shaped like a military aircraft. Hiding in between the 4 and 5 is a circular date marker. Usually date windows turn me off a bit, but this one takes up so little space that it doesn't distract from the rest of the design. The hands, the indices and the numerals all have superluminova applied that does the job and makes for a gorgeous macro shot. The watch comes on a very comfortable presidential style bracelet. It features a push button clasp with 3 micro adjustments. With a lug width of 22mm there are plenty of straps to find, and I'm happy to say that this watch also works really well on a NATO strap. At the time of posting this video, the Bell&Ross comes in at 4,700 euros. That is a hefty price that sits just under the purchase price of my Speedmaster. Considering this only has an ETA-based movement, I personally think that a lower price point could put this watch on the shortlist of a lot more people more easily, myself included. But if you compare the price to the new coaxial Speedmaster, you can actually save 2,000 euros. I'm not sure how popular this watch is within the Bell&Ross catalog, but I consider this one a sleeper hit. One that I feel is overlooked by a lot of people in the watch community, yet one that should appeal to a lot of you. The price point puts this watch in the serious luxury watch category, and in my opinion both the feel and the finishing of this watch and bracelet totally support that. I really enjoyed this watch a lot. I couldn't stop staring down at my wrist. It's a beautifully designed watch, and maybe it borrows some elements from other watches. I didn't care. And while it sure felt vaguely familiar, it didn't leave me craving to be wearing my Speedmaster. So if the movement and the Moonwatch heritage isn't a deal breaker to you, and if you're looking for a beautiful alternative to some other popular chronographs, I strongly recommend you to check this one out. I'm really curious to hear your thoughts on this watch, so drop in the comments or come find me on Instagram. As always, subscribes and likes are really appreciated. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one. Bye.